is Aria. Thank you for stopping in and watching. I want to talk about identity shifts and how unfamiliar you may feel if you're in a new identity. Identity that I was in before was really in survival mode. It was somebody who didn't believe in good things happening to myself. I didn't think in the most positive ways. So I always assumed for the worst, always on alert. I was just so depressed and I didn't see the value essentially in my own life. I didn't care about things. I wasn't happy about things that I used to be happy about. I really just lost my sense of self and I lost my drive, my purpose, everything. I really thought that the depression had taken over my life. When I started to shift into the new identity, it felt uncomfortable at first because everything was just new to me and it was new thinking, it was new patterns, it was new feelings. They were good things, but because I was so used to things that were more negative and I was so used to like, fear-based thoughts, didn't know how to process feeling good about myself or feeling good about life in general because it was all new to me. So I was very like skeptical at first. Okay, so is this really safe? It's my body asking, am I safe enough to be here? Is this a safe identity? Like, can we actually be happy? Can we actually enjoy things? Like, crazy that to me at one point it wasn't normal. I had to get used to those feelings and it really felt different at first. That's just what I remember feeling. At first it was all neutral, and then when the changes in my identity started to arise more, it was just like, oh wow, I'm feeling joy over small things. Seeing the abundance in my life, those things, it was just so different for me because I just wasn't used to that. I was used to looking for scarcity. I was used to looking for lack in my life. And at first it really, like I said, it really felt foreign. It really felt like I was just like, am I safe enough to make this decision? And I learned to trust myself in that feeling. So after a while, that feeling, when it was just a weird stage of like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means. Because my old identity was not in charge anymore. My new identity was becoming in place and implemented. So it was making the decisions forefront. And it was like different for me because I was like, I'm not used to this. I'm used to like being quiet, not speaking my mind. And I'm used to like being small. That's what I was used to. But also, I'm dealing with the old beliefs. So they're kind of they want to hold on. They have ran the program for so long. And so I was just like, man, they don't talk about like, and when you're healing and when you are navigating and letting go of old thoughts, old patterns, you were going to go through this period of like, it's going to be in between both identities. And so when you're in between both, you will see the pull for both. You will see that one will show up and another one may come back. So new identity is like, oh, we just did this great. And it applauds you for making an effort to trying something new, right? Just getting out there trying something new. And your older identity is like, that was horrible. Why would you do that? Oh my gosh, like people are gonna judge us, or what if we didn't do it right? What if we're gonna fail? So you will see the two conversations, two different versions of yourselves fighting for the spot. It didn't stay for long. The old identity wasn't there as long, and the voice wasn't as, it didn't persuade me as much as it did before. It didn't make me believe. I didn't believe in it. It was just kind of like, okay, like I don't really care. Like it's just kind of like this nagging kind of voice in your head. Like when you hear it, it's just like it don't even sound like the truth anymore. It just sounds like something that's just being told to you, and you're like, yeah, I don't believe that anyways. It was like in my head, I was like, when I kept hearing it, I just genuinely was like, why is it still playing in my head? And so that's how I knew that I shifted in my identity, was because I was like, yeah, this doesn't align to me anymore. So you can knock that out. So I was just kind of like, this doesn't make any sense because I don't care to believe in this. And they would be the most negative thoughts about myself. They're like, you did this wrong and you're just not this type of person. You will never grow. Like it was, the belief was trying to stay there. That belief that I carried for so many years, it wanted me to believe that I wasn't worthy or that I wasn't good enough. And so I'm like, the new identity coming through, I'm like, I don't care. Like I do deserve good things. I am no longer identifying with that type of identity. So I don't have to believe it anymore. I don't. You don't have to believe it anymore. And it's like the most freeing thing because it's like, who cares what the inner critic and that voice, that program is saying? It's not real. It's just this protective mechanism, and it's been there for you during your survival mode. And when you were a child, when they tell you, oh, you're not that smart, or maybe you should dress differently, did they try to silence your authenticity? And then you got older, you suppress all the parts of yourself that were you, and then you internalize everything and you blame yourself and you carry this shame and this guilt, and it's not even your fault. Carry that everywhere you go, and it will affect you in your relationships, at your jobs, in your creative spaces. It will affect you everywhere you go. And it's crazy because I started to see the shift everywhere in my life. That's what I'm saying. Like, you will see the shift everywhere when you shift your identity. And like I said, it feels weird at first, but once you do that shift, it becomes a pattern. It becomes like your new norm because you're no longer living there anymore. So the new one, it's a lot, like I said, it'll be a lot more quieter, but just give it the space it needs to grow. And then it will show up continuously, allowing you that space where you are able to prove to yourself, you can trust in yourself, that you can rely on yourself, that you can know this inner feeling of that you are good, that you are abundant, that you are worthy. It is real. Trust in that feeling. Trust it more than you ever did with those other thoughts of like, you're not worthy. You'll never be good enough. Let those thoughts go. Those thoughts aren't real. They are looking for your awareness to put on it, to make it real, to make it feel like it's something, but it's not. It's not there. It's not real. It's there trying to keep its identity alive. It needs your awareness in order for it to grow. And if you deprive it, it has nowhere else to do. It doesn't, it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like a nagging voice in your head, and it's a nagging voice in your ear just saying, you suck. And what if you know you the best player on the team and somebody just says like, oh, you suck? No. So like if you're the best player on the team and there's just one person is telling you, hey, you suck. You could have did that a little bit better. I don't know. That wasn't really the best that you've done. Are you really gonna listen? And you won so many games and you accomplished so many things. Are you really gonna listen to someone that's gonna be like, yeah, I don't know, that wasn't really the best. You could have really did better. Nah. Like, it doesn't make any sense because it's like it's not, it doesn't carry any weight. It has no meaning. It has no power. Unless you're like, oh my gosh, you're right. You know what? Nah, I didn't do my best. I'm not good at it. I'm not who I think I am. You know what? You're right. And I suck. So that's going to be your reality. That's going to be your identity. It's going to carry that. And then when you carry that, you'll live life through that. That's how you'll come at things. And then it will affect your actions and behaviors. And then it'll be reflected back to you. And then it's like, oh, wow, I knew it. I knew I wasn't good enough. And there you go. You're stuck in the loop. You're stuck in the same loop. Um, yeah, those identity shifts are really crazy because it's like you will see that when you are affirming, and affirming just means to say affirmations, over to yourself, or you want to listen to them, or you can meditate. You can get into identity shifts really quickly. Just believe you're the person that you say that you are. Someone who's ambitious, start doing things that you think an ambitious person does because you are ambitious. Embody that state. If I'm a speaker, I'm going to get out here and speak and use my voice because I'm a speaker. If I believe that, I'm going to do that, right? That's the identity that I'm dabbling in. That's the identity that I believe in. I'm going to show up as the identity. And therefore, the longer I do it, the more it becomes a part of my identity. At first, I was like, man, like, it really over here trying to tell me that I can't do something. Like, who are you to tell me that I can't do something? Who are you to tell me that I am not worth it? Like, that's just the craziest thought to me now because it's like before I would listen to that, I would be like, yo, yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board with that. Like, yeah, it makes total sense that I'm not worthy. It makes sense. What? Like, it doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, you will, when you start to trust in the other identity that you're stepping into, it will feel scary. It's going to feel scary. The fear does not go away, it will still be there. But that doesn't mean you have to go back into the other identity. What I realized too was that when I get scared and I try to make myself small again and I try to like go back to my old identity, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was the right thing to do. So now I'm like, oh man, I can't even go back to how I used to act because that don't feel right no more. I got a taste of this new identity and who I am. when I listen to myself, when I trust myself, when I give myself the praise that I deserve. And then when I try to go back to the old identity who plays small, who's weak and just like, no, I'm a people pleaser. I don't do this thing. And I'm like, this feels weird. This is not who I am anymore. I can't go back there because it doesn't align with me anymore. I've outgrown that space. That space for me to be in survival mode. I've outgrown it now. There's no need for me to stay there anymore. So you will start to feel like you can hold on to the old identity for a little bit, but you can't be both identities. You have to choose one or the other, and you will naturally start going towards the one that feels more aligned to you, and let go of things that no longer align to you, because it's hard to keep both, to be, to keep two identities at once, because you can't be two people at once. You're the one or the other. And so I would try to go back and I'd be like, oh, this is kind of scary. This is unknown. Like, I don't really know what's going on here. Like, this is all brand new. Let me go back. Let me just kind of, what I'm saying, go back to what I usually do. Let me tell myself these thoughts in my head, like, the comfortable, the familiar. I want that back. Started doing that. I was like, oh, this doesn't even feel comfortable to me no more. This is not my norm no more. I'm like, oh, we shifted. So that's what that means. You shifted. It's uncomfortable at first. It's scary at first, but just stay consistent to it and persist in that new identity, and you will see the shift. So leave in the comments down below a time when you notice a shift in yourself. What did you notice about yourself? What changes did you have? And you need to know that it comes with practice. It comes with, it takes time to implement something new. It's fine to do that. So just be patient with yourself. And yeah, like, it's really cool to see the shift. Once you do it, like, you'll see that, like, oh, I was always this person. Right. I was always great. I was always loved. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching.